All right, hello. Welcome back. Episode 2, Scott's Thoughts. Let's get into it. We're looking at another company, smaller one, named Ferrari. Probably haven't heard of them. I think they've been around for a couple of years, probably not super long. They come from a small town in Italy called Maranello. I know. They have a couple cars that I think don't look very good, to be honest. Okay, and we're going to start with 3. The first one is the new Ferrari F80. Okay, it's a very big, as in when I say big, I mean expensive, hypercar that is a hybrid, plug-in hybrid with a V6 powertrain. It has 1,200 horsepower. That is a ton. It is also $4 million, which is also a ton. So I guess that makes sense. The next one is the 849 Testarossa, another hybrid supercar that has only 1,036 horsepower, but that has a twin-turbo V8 hybrid, which kind of sounds a little cooler. The next one, which I think honestly may be my favorite of the 3, is the Ferrari 12 cylindrically, that one. Front engine, rear wheel drive Grand Touring car, okay, with a NAV12 in 2025 NAV12. I mean, that's just incredible. It does only produce 819 horsepower, which is measly compared to the other 2. What do all these 3 cars have in common other than the name Ferrari? Well, as you can see from these pictures here, they all have this really weird black line on the hood. Okay? The Ferrari F80 and the Testarossa 849 both have it kind of like pushed forward a little bit, and the 12 cylindry has it just like right at the edge of the hood. It all seems super out of place. Like, why is this black line there? Like, usually sometimes you'll see like a full black hood, but not just a black line. I honestly thought this was some sort of just design almost failure. Like, they thought it was cool, but people actually just didn't like it. I thought it was so silly. Like, oh, they're almost ruining these new cool cars. And I didn't know if it was some electric thing, like they needed it. It was like cool solar panels in the front where all the sun, I don't know, okay? All I know is that it looks silly. So what did I do? Other than insult them, I did some research. And I started with the 12 cylindry because that one actually kind of looked cool. It's almost hatchbacks, fastback kind of style, but smaller. And of course the NAV12 is super cool rather than hybrid, at least in this day and age. And after doing some research on the 12 cylindry, I found that it's actually modeled after an older Ferrari called the Ferrari 365 GTB-4. Now this car, people probably might not know based off that name, but they've probably heard of its unofficial nickname, the Daytona, which was given when Ferrari got a 1-2-3 finish at the 24-hour Daytona race in 1967 with that car. And this is a super cool looking car, complete classic. It has a 4.4 liter V12 that produces 352 horsepower. And in today's day and age, that's not very much, but back then, it was actually the fastest production car of its time, with a top speed of 154 miles per hour. It also had a 0 to 60 time of 5.4 seconds, which is faster than my modern day minivan, which is just insane. They did produce only 1,284 of them, and if you wanted to buy one back in the late 60s, early 70s, it would have only set you back $20,000. I mean, that was cheaper than a slate truck, which we talked about last week. Nowadays, though, they are average at around $700,000. So, investment opportunity was an investment opportunity. And based off of what I found from the 365 and the history behind it and also the looks, I started to see the 12 cylindry in a different way. I actually found that black stripe beautiful because it matched and paid homage to the 365. So when I found that out, I thought, maybe I am judging these other two Ferraris, the F80 and the 849, a little too harsh. So what I did is I next researched the 849, and I found, obviously enough, that the Ferrari 849 Testarossa is based off of the Ferrari Testarossa. The Testarossa is a mid-engine sports car that was produced from 1984 to 1992. There were 3 different variations: the Testarossa, the 512 TR, and the 512M. And there was about 10,000 of those made in all the variations. The Testarossa had a 4.9 liter flat 12. And this was actually the last car that they produced with that flat 12. The differences in variations was the 512 TR came second, and it was re-engineered to have a better weight distribution, which was 41% front and 59% rear. The 512M came afterwards, again with a better weight distribution, and that had a 42% front and a 58% rear. So kind of only 1% better. I'm not sure they fully needed to make a new car for that, but that's fine. If you wanted, you could actually pick up a Testarossa nowadays for around $200,000, which is kind of a deal compared to that 365 that was $700,000. And again, after researching the Testarossa and seeing how it compares to this new 849 Testarossa, I realized just how much more beautiful the new one is. I mean, the old one has this huge gaping gap in the front of it, which that black line in the new one is representing. I mean, it's just fantastic that they wanted to bring that back. Now, after all of this research that I've done on these 2 old cars, I'm thinking they must have done something super special with the F80. I mean, it has to resemble the F40 or F50 in some way, right? No, not at all. Like, they didn't do anything whatsoever to pay homage to those 2 other cars. I mean, that black line is just there to make it look futuristic. I think it looks stupid. If there's nothing that in any way that it relates to historically, it just looks dumb. I mean, it's just messing up the front of it. They think that it looks futuristic, or it like is some sort of cuts the long hood off so it looks smaller or shorter or whatever. No, it just doesn't. And you're spending $4 million on it. I mean, I could just spray paint a black line if I really wanted to. It's just, Ferrari did so well on the new 12 cylindry, and although the new Testarossa, the 849, doesn't have the iconic divot lines in the side, it still looks good because of the resemblance it has to the old one. This F80, it's 1,200 horsepower, it's a new hybrid plug-in hypercar, and it's $4 million. If you are born in this day and age, that is going to be the poster car. But unfortunately for people with class like me, and that has lived so many years to see these cars go by, I just can't help but think they missed an opportunity with it. Now, with all that said and done, I could put all 5 of these cars on the buy board, but obviously they're Ferraris. I would buy the 12 cylindry, I would buy the 849 Testarossa, I'd buy the old Testarossas, and I would of course buy the 365. But I think the F80 is a little bit of a question, just because of how much money it is, even though it is cool and has all this new technology in its powertrain. Let's go over to the buy board and see where I place it. The buy board. Where do you think the Ferrari F80 goes? Now, we have the slate truck, the not so $20,000 simple electric truck, and that's in the buy section. It's cool, it's simple, it's a cheap inexpensive rear-wheel drive electric truck. This is kind of the complete opposite. It does have an engine. It is a $4 million hypercar. Most people would see it, they think 1200 horsepower, super cool red Ferrari, that's an instant buy. Those people are smart. However, I did some math, and you can actually purchase a Ferrari 12-cylindry, a 265, a Testarossa, an 849 Testarossa, a LaFerrari, and a Dino 246, all before meeting that $4 million mark. That makes this look like a terrible deal. I'd rather take those 7 cars rather than one of these. So that makes it a pass. Not only that, but the F80 just doesn't have that heritage design behind it like the 12-cylindry and the 849. All right, first car on the pass side, and it's a $4 million hypercar. No one saw that coming, huh? All right, that concludes the program for this week. Next week, we're going to be talking about a car similar to this one, the Volkswagen ID Buzz. What do you think about it?